Ian, summer is coming and hotter days are just around the corner. You can keep cool with the help of our friends at Manscaped, who are sponsoring this podcast segment. They've just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0, holding it in my hand right here. Complement your summer grooming routine and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code CU Podcast.
It's time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. That's a whole lot of stuff. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. No one likes those, thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on-off switch can engage a travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. If you want to take your grooming game even further, you can pick up the Weed Whacker, the perfect tool to eliminate ear and nose hair. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations. Before heading outside, use Crop Preserver Down Under deodorant to keep you on your game in the heat. After a long day of trimming the lawn and whacking the weeds in the summer heat, boost your freshness with the Crop Reviver. Manscaped even threw in 2 new free gifts for their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort in boxers to another level.
That's a lot of stuff in that performance package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CU Podcast at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CU Podcast at manscaped.com. Stay fresh this summer and shine with Manscaped. All right, Ian, you all good?
I'm good.
All right. We're going to discuss an announcement that happened on June 11th that was already reversed from Super Rare Games. Super Rare Games is a company that came on the heels of a limited run, which is a game that would do
Game publisher,
a smaller physical release of an indie game that was only digitally available.
Yes.
There's a few of these. There's like Strictly Limited. You told me the name of one.
Strictly Limited, Special Reserve, Super Rare. They all have incredibly creative names.
Yeah, it's like Limited Run had the good name, and they did the dollar store version of all of the Limited Run name, basically. So they had an announcement that was not met with a lot of positive news. They announced something that was a new label for physical only games.
Super Rare Shorts was what it was going
Super Rare
to be.
Shorts. So exclusive games never released digitally, only available physically once for anyone that wants them in month-long windows.
So, I mean, where to start? That's a shitty, bad, awful idea. And what they basically did was they funded these small micro games, and then they were going to sell them to you. Immediately, everyone saw this for what it was, which is it's naked pandering to the scalper collector market.
You're manufacturing scarcity.
And you're somehow expecting people to find this a good idea.
Under the guise of helping the devs.
Yeah. And they really dug their heels into that too. But as many people pointed out, it doesn't really help the devs, because these games are simply going to be collected, never opened, kept sealed, used as bargaining chips, and essentially just vehicles for monetary transfer. That's all these would ever be. Most people buying these were not going to open them. Or they'd buy 2, open it, play the game for 30 seconds, and that would be that. That's not going to get a dev's name out there. That's not going to get a dev talked about, especially not positively. Out in the market, it turns them into collectible tokens.
Most importantly, no one's going to play the game.
No, yeah, exactly.
No one's going to play the game you work on.
Right, because most people are going to keep these sealed. To me, it's just totally perverting what Limited Run had done. In Limited Run, they did not. I had issues initially. We all kind of did. The no open pre-orders, the things were hard to get, and it really turned a lot of people off. Limited Run did a lot of work to kind of turn that image around, to be seen as consumer friendly, to offer these open pre-order windows.
Sure.
And they've done a great job at it. They are loved by most people who play games and collect games. I enjoy what they do. They are loved by most devs that give them an opportunity to get a game out there physically that they wouldn't ever see. Limited Run is doing this right, and they're doing a great job. And then to have a company that was formed to essentially mimic and copy what they were doing.
Which would also help preservation of games, too.
Right, preservation of games. And then totally pervert it and be like, money, money, money. That's all it is. And I don't care how many times I try to defend it. I know they reversed it, but to me, it does. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because you should not have had to receive the backlash you did to realize that this is just naked. It's money grubbing.
So part of their original statement is like, we're proud of what we've done for indie developers, collectors, and gaming preservation, and we'll continue to do with our line of super rare games physical releases. Here's the deal. When you talk about...
You're appealing to the worst aspects of the collector market.
Game preservation... Yes, having it on physical helps with game preservation. But if you're having it in such a small amount of people's hands with no digital release, you're actually hurting the chances of it getting preserved over time. That's what's so perverted about it. It's the fact that when you had a digital game with no physical release that was bad, it's almost just as bad to have a physical game that is going to be only hoarded with no digital release. Because then not only you get into a weird situation where it's so hard to get a hold of to even access, but then, yeah, it's a weird scenario that I'm shocked a company like this would even tiptoe into.
I'm not shocked.
I'm kind of shocked, because it's like, it's so bad on its surface. How do you even try to spin that to be something positive for either game preservation and plus for the devs, because the devs are not making money as much. If I have a brilliant game that's digital or that I made, I want as many people to play it as possible. Yes, a physical release will spotlight it, but if it's not on digital, you're capping off like 90% of the gaming market that might never find it. Like, that's insulting to me as a game dev. If the guys if that you're helping me as a dev, but that's obviously not what the goal was.
No, and I mean, like, I don't want to take any personal shots. I'm glad they reversed this, but I'm sorry, I cannot see this as anything other than them trying to get away with a scheme to make money from the worst parts of video game culture and video game collectors.
Shorts can be anything from entirely from the ground up original titles by up and coming or veteran indie developers, finished versions of promising prototypes or smaller scope games, vastly different and more definitive versions of promising titles that struggle to get the spotlight, or even expanded jam games from larger internal studios. Multiple shorts games are currently in development. So they want to throw out a net of whatever games that either couldn't make it as a digital game or were tossed aside, and they wanted to then constrain it to a physical media for a short amount of time and make sure that all the collectors buy, because they know, oh, this is going to be available for only a month. We're going to buy them all. And people might want it. Because what if one of those games blew up? If one of those games blows up and you can't find it anymore, then yes. Oh, my copy I bought for $50, now it's going for $400. They're tapping into that mindset with this sort of project.
Yeah, they're tapping into the FOMO shelf collector sealed game mindset, and it's gross.
So there was major backlash.
Huge.
Immediately.
No one liked this. I don't think they had a single person who could have swayed this positively for them come to their bat, and they had a lot of prominent people. I think a lot of people were biting their tongue, but flat out being like, this is not great. I believe Josh from Limited Run had measured words to say about it.
He didn't call him directly, but he addressed it.
Measured words about it. Kelsey Lewin from Video Game History Foundation was not pleased about it. I mean, a lot of people were like, no, this is, and I'm glad people called them out. Yeah. This is dog shit. And I'm glad the video game community is kind of policing its what's the word I'm looking for? God, I hate this. They're
basically the scene or the community.
They're policing the scene, they're policing the community, and they're cleaning this sort of stuff up.
The biggest response was, I feel bad for Glass Revolver. That's the game announced. Now only 5,000 people in the world will ever play their game. If that. You call this preservation? Do you know the definition? I'm disappointed I've bought anything from you. I love physical, but I don't love arbitrarily limiting stock for profit. And again, these aren't games that will be digitally released. So it's like, if I wanted to play it, now I got to get in that tight window to even discover the game. They responded, these small scope games only exist because we have funded them. They would never exist at all or see the light of day otherwise. It allows indies to make something cool over a short period that they otherwise never could and help fund their next project. Awesome. Release it digitally as well. Then release it digitally as well.
Well, before we sound like we're purposely hiding the fact that they've changed this, they did.
They did.
They did change
But
this.
the whole point is like it's so transparent because like
It was just a bad idea.
you can still fund the game and have your limited small physical release, but then release it digitally as well. You're not harming anything, but except what you think what the profit would be to get the interest in that game. It's so transparent.
So they came out and said, we're sorry, we're going to change this. We didn't take some things into account. I feel like you took all of it into account. I mean, you don't get this far without thinking about that. So what they're doing is, and honestly, if this had been what they had said they were doing from the start, I would very much look at this and be like, this is not for me, but whatever. Still don't love it, but whatever. So what they're doing is the pre-order window is, I believe, 6 weeks. That is a generous pre-order window now. You can order as many as you want. 6 months after the game comes out, it will get a digital release on itch.io, which is...
which you don't know, that's more like digital game Etsy, so to speak. It's like more open.
It's indie. I mean, it's hard to say because Steam carries a lot of indie games, but it's indie Steam.
Sure.
It's indie Steam. There's no DRM. That's the big thing.
Sure.
There's no DRM attached to it, whatever. Once you download the file, it's yours. So I think that's one of their big reasons for doing it.
And they don't take as big a cut as Steam as I don't think. Right?
Probably not.
It's probably much smaller.
So there you go. The games will be preserved. People who want to who want to play them without buying into them sight unseen will be able to.
There's a timed release, which I'm not in love with, but okay. You want to protect your investment, funding these games, make sure everyone buys the physical. I sort of get that. The itch.io thing I think is interesting though, because it's still not going to be able to be found by accident by a lot of people by not putting it on the mainstream stores. Like, why not do it everywhere? But okay, it's better than nothing. It's basically, it's like a half concession.
Yes.
Basically.
So I'm happy. I'm happy they listened. I'm happy they changed it. I still can't help but feel kind of grossed out by the whole thing.
Sure, because I could have got away from it. It wasn't for us dirty,
it should have never gotten to that point.
No.
And it's one of those things where it's like now, okay, well, you're reversing it because you got caught.
Yes. Like I
think they would have seen huge margin decreases in terms of their, like, people were angry.
Sure. Because it's the worst case scenario of all this.
Yes.
It's like the reverse of it.
It's everything we talk about being shitty in video games coming to a head.
Sure. Absolutely. So yeah, but they did the right thing. But again, it's almost like, sorry that I got caught, but it's sort of like, you shame the company to doing the right thing. I guess it's a net positive, and no one would probably try this again. No one will try to do that again. I can't imagine doing something like that, and just, I can't imagine being a game dev that would want to do this either. If I have a brilliant game and now you're just shuttering it behind these arbitrary doors that no one could open up and see my game.
Someone else is doing it though, and that's
there is?
Devolver Digital is doing a physical only Switch game called Demon Throttle. I saw that coming up, but I have a feeling at this point we're probably going to see none of this going forward.
So they're going to try, and that's not going to be digital.
I don't know if this has been changed, but basically digital downloads become the most common way to buy games. Blah 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 blah. Demon Throttle looks to be a cool top-down action. You won't be able to download it. You'll only be able to get it through special reserve.
It's one of the other companies.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know if that's going to get changed, but I'm not just going to try to call out Super Rare. I love Devolver, but I think this is once again a shitty, bad idea that only plays into the worst aspects of video game collecting.
Is that open pre-orders at least? Or
I'm assuming it is, yes.
If it's open pre-order, it's open pre-order for June till October. Well, right? So you get a larger release.
You get a large window, but still, I'm really not into that idea. And as I think it was Kelsey who pointed it out, and I no real fault to limited run here. I understand that they're doing what they can, and it's open pre-orders. All I'm getting at is open pre-orders have not been shown to greatly reduce the price of these games if they get popular later on. There are lots of those Switch games that limited run release that are still expensive, even with open pre-orders. So all I'm trying to get at is open pre-order without a digital option does not excuse them.
Sure. With no digital releases, try to temper it. Oh, I actually want to play.
It does not. That does not excuse them.
Okay. Well, hopefully this has not become a bigger thing, because then it's a larger issue at that point.